Thank you for joining me, Diana Master, on NMH at 1, where we highlight the news making waves in Namibia and beyond, ranging from current affairs, community stories, sports and economic news. Coming up in this broadcast, the government is divided over Namcor's retail role. President Hage Geingob estimates 600,000 new jobs by 2040. 833 million Namibian dollar Namcor fraudsters hit hard. Stick around, a midday news update coming right up. In today's midday news update, media personality Krizo, real name Christian Gwagoseb, has died at the age of 51, as officially confirmed by his family. Krizo gained fame as the host of the now defunct Afro Connection show on Namibian Broadcasting Corporation. Visual News highlights local stories from across Namibia right after the break. Stay with NMH at 1.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraita. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Getting into today's visual news clips, the residents of Stampriet voiced their concerns about the lack of ambulance services and insufficient services. Local government officials and community leaders should be made aware of these issues so they can work to address them and improve the quality of life in the area. Community meetings or petitions may be effective ways to express these concerns. Let's have a look.
Goeiemôre, ek is Sarah de Weer, community health worker wat ook bekend is as die health extension worker vir 8 jaar nou. En dan het ek nog ander program waar ek deelneem, Youth Against Crime, CDC. Nou die probleme wat ons in Stampriet het is die vullishope wat tussen die huise is. Soos u self hier so sien, dat is net vullishope oral en dit is nie gesond vir ons gemeenskap nie. Die treine word soms ook op tyd gepomp, dan lê die treine se vulliswater lê oral in die straat, ons moet oor die water loop. As dit reën dan word die huise gevlad. Verlede jaar was ons almal se huise verspoel, maar daar het niemand enige hulp gekry. Die mense het ons name kom opgeskryf wat was in die huis beskadig, maar daar is geen terugvoering tot nou toe nie. En dan het ons die probleem van vervoer. As ons nou mense kry by die kliniek wat moet nou dokter gaan sien, die general dokter, dan kan die mense nie Mariental toe gaan nie as gevolg van finansiëel. So, ons verwag dat ons ambulans in die toekoms kan kry. Daar is wel karre wat inry, soos Kogas se kliniek, Arnos Javsende se karre kom elke maandag, woensdag en Vrydag in, maar hulle kan nie ons pasiënte lei wat ons na die dokter toe verwys het nie. So met die manier kan die mense nie by die dokter kom om verder gesien te word of van die dokter geassist word. En dan is die probleem ook nog van dat ons baie TB pasiënte wat werkloos is, hulle kan nie bekostig om kos te kry nie. So kry ons mense wat nie hulle se TB treatment klaar maak nie. Dan sal hierdie persoon weer 'n relapse loop word van met die dat hy nie kan sy pille op tyd drink nie. Dan besluit hy later nie, ek drink nie meer pille nie, waarom moet ek elke dag kos kry om te eet? Ons het al probeer om briewe te skryf om borge te kry van verskillende farmers af hierso. Maar soos die mense in die verlede met die mense se naam, byvoorbeeld 'n TB pasiënt, ek skryf nou 'n borgbrief oor TB pasiënte en dan het hulle dit vir hulle se eie gebruik. So dis hoekom ons ook hier reg borge meer kry om vir die TB pasiënt of enige pasiënt wat 'n eie TB pasiënt byvoorbeeld ook kan support om sy treatment elke dag te kry nie. En dan is die probleem van die shippings. Ons het meer as 14 shippings.
Getting into our next video, friends Hage and Bernie attended day 2 of Feast Restaurant Week, which unfolded in a culinary spectacle at Katakombe Kamaya restaurant last night. Renowned international chef Roshni collaborated with the restaurant's head chef Zara Namanda to curate a delectable fusion of Namibian traditional cuisine and exotic Indian flavors. Jemima Ndebele has more.
The experience, we had this, what is this called? Black-eyed pea with amarula oil. Listen, this is something different on the palate. It's completely, and then the tripe, but I think the main one for me was the mixed veggies.
Yeah, the mixed veggies.
These veggies, that aftertaste, totally stunning. Yeah, and should be doing this more.
And that curry sauce that they used on the traditional chicken.
Chicken, yeah?
Yeah.
How about that pap?
No. But the pap also was actually quite...
The first one, the starter.
Yeah.
No, that's
It's
the
actually
top.
a nice little dumpling type of... I wouldn't even call it a masala, but it was but just those curry flavors that came out. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, and at the end the masala tea. Winner.
Yeah.
Winner.
And obviously as well the Zambezi bream.
Oh yes, most definitely the fish.
What she did with the sauce around that was just...
Yeah, you know the flavors,
And it was just
the
a
different
great
flavors on the
fusion.
main course. But I think what stand out is that pap with the amarula oil, that starter.
Yes.
And then we wanted to try the matangara stunning. The sauce at the end. I believe what was the stunning, because they had no meat for Namibians, is the veggie part of it. Yo, that thing, you know, it's just something different, the flavors. You think you know the food because it's kapana and it's matangara, it's mango, it's pap or whatever. But the way they've done it, no, definitely winner. Come back.
And then what Chef Rosh did, just bringing in that Indian fusion with those fresh curries and those flavors.
Yeah,
was just
everything
He just brought
you
that
eat and you want
fine
more,
dining
one more.
traditionally to a next level.
Yeah, you eat and you want more, and then after you swallow, okay, what is that now? Now you need to try and figure out, is there something, what is the taste, what has been put in here? And it's like it's keeping you guessing. I've loved it. Never had this, yeah, and stunning.
After the break, the Namibian Sun leads us into the newspaper review segment. Stay tuned.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Thank you for staying with NMH at 1. We now take a look at what the lead stories are in Namibia's daily newspapers. Starting us off, the Namibian Sun reports that there are internal divisions within the government about the country's oil parastatals' involvement in the petroleum retail space. According to well-positioned government insiders, high-level deliberations have taken place over the past few months on whether to maintain the National Petroleum Corporation of Namibia's current mandate on both the upstream and downstream side of things. Critics are allegedly pushing for the parastatal to be stripped of its retail mandate so that it can focus solely on entrenching itself in the upstream petroleum industry, especially with recent oil discoveries. On page 3, approximately 90% of the area within Walvis Bay's municipal boundaries is occupied, town planner Otniel Carrero said. According to him, there will be no land for urban development in less than 5 years. The growth of the town is constrained on the west by the Atlantic Ocean, the south by the Dorob National Park, and the north by the proposed North Port. Walvis Bay's estimated population of 122,396 people reside in 40,429 households. The town's population is projected to grow to 168,000 by 2031, with a household growth of 5.65%, which will in turn put a great deal of pressure on the municipality with regard to land provision for housing, Carrero said. On the front page of the Republican, Judge Collins Parker said yesterday in his judgment in which he dismissed fish rods accused James Hatukulipi's constitutional challenge of the Prevention of Organized Crime Act that the court found that court proceedings in relation to restraining orders are civil and not criminal, and that the right to presumption of innocence in terms of Section 12 of the Namibian Constitution does not apply. On page 3, moral activist Ian Liebenberg has died. He was one of the election monitors for the pre-independence elections in Namibia and had an important role in the country's history. Moving over to the Allgemeine Zeitung, on the front page it leads with an article about the organization Desert Lions Human Relations Aid, which yesterday raised hell about the apparent hunting of one of the last black-maned male desert lions, which had been known under the name of Mwezi and registered as XPL 107. It would seem as though this lion was harvested as a trophy on Wednesday, the 11th of October. On the paper's page 3, an article about the road between Karibib and Usakos, which will now be rehabilitated with German support. One of the major stumbling blocks was the fact that the German development bank, KfW, ended up paying the Chinese contractor Zhongmei Engineering Group for a job that was supposed to be aiding Namibia's development efforts. Stick around, we'll now take a quick ad break and return with the second half of our newspaper review segment.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
You're still watching NMH at 1 and will now continue with our newspaper review. Starting us off, the Namibian reports that President Hage Geingob says Namibia's burgeoning green economy could potentially usher in an era of unprecedented job creation, nearly doubling the existing employment numbers within the next 17 years. However, economists call this an exaggeration. Geingob, while delivering his keynote speech at the ongoing Africa Energy Week conference in Cape Town yesterday, said this transformative shift to green hydrogen could result in the generation of over 600,000 fresh job opportunities. Moreover, the president estimated that the country's gross domestic product would witness a remarkable increase from its current 58.6 billion Namibian dollars to 115 billion Namibian dollars by 2040. On the paper's page 3, former Namibian Institute of Mining and Technology employee Ernst Lichtenstrasser's presence in the Arandis area on the same day that the institute's top 2 executives were murdered was just a massive coincidence, Lichtenstrasser's defense lawyer argued during his trial in the Windhoek High Court on Monday. There's no point in denying that by coincidence, Lichtenstrasser was in the Arandis area when NIMT Executive Director Eckhard Miller and his deputy Hemel Helvig were killed on 15 April 2019, but he gave a reasonable explanation for his presence there, defense lawyer Albert Titus said in arguments heard by Judge Christy Liebenberg. The New Era's lead story reports that workers of various entities accused of defrauding the Namibia Revenue Agency of 833 million Namibian dollars will continue bearing the brunt of continued deductions directly from their monthly salaries. This is revealed in a High Court judgment handed down earlier this month. This is after 8 applicants attempted but failed to persuade the Windhoek High Court to order NAMRA to temporarily cease further deductions from their salaries. The paper's page 3 reports a state-owned fishing firm, the National Fishing Corporation of Namibia, is unable to pay the government outstanding quota fees and levies originating from 2017, 2018 and 2019. The company's reputation and the overall industry's reputation suffered serious harm in recent years with the revelation of malicious transactions that led to the now infamous fish rot scandal. The Market Watch reports that the Combat Mine, co-owned by Canada's Trigon Metals, Namibia philanthropist Knowledge Kati's Textile Mining and Exploration, and state-owned Ipangelo Mining, announced a significant commercial production milestone. This achievement marks a major step forward in Trigon's journey towards becoming a leading mid-tier copper producer. After the break, we bring you our economic news. Stay tuned.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
In today's economic news, based on the current oil, international fuel and rand prices, the latest data from the South African Central Agency Fund shows that petrol prices could be cut by around R1.90 a litre in November, while diesel prices could be lowered by between 69 cents and 75 cents a litre. However, there are still more than 2 weeks to go before the final fuel prices are set. Fuel prices will only be adjusted on the 1st of November. We'll now take a look at the economic indicators before bringing you news from Africa. The Namibian dollar trades at 22.92 to the British pound, 19.90 to the euro, 18.85 to the US dollar, and 2 Namibian dollars and 58 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. MTC First Capricorn Investment Group and Letego Holdings Namibia all took an upturn of 0.10% and 0.30% respectively, while Namibia Breweries Limited stocks took a dip of 0.30%. SBN Holdings also took an upturn of 0.30%. Local index and overall index closed on a downturn of 0.03% and 0.14%. Looking at commodities, all commodities are up, save for copper, which took a dip of 0.92%, now trading at $7,846.40 US per ton. Stick around after the break, we bring you news from Africa.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
We now expand beyond Namibia's borders to give you the latest news from the African continent here on NMH at 1. The Kenyan government has released the names and photos of 35 terror suspects believed to be behind the recent militant attacks in coastal Lamu County. Among them are Tanzanians, Somalis, a German, a British national and a Bangladeshi citizen, with the majority being Kenyans. The suspects are linked to the planting of improvised explosive devices on various roads and the killing of civilians along the Lamu-Witu-Gasan highway. They are also linked to the attack on the American military base at Manda Bay in Lamu in 2020. The Ministry of Interior said the armed and dangerous suspects were part of the Al-Shabaab terror network responsible for planning and orchestrating deadly attacks in Lamu County and the larger Boni enclave, authorities say. A substantial reward will be offered to anyone with information regarding the whereabouts of any of the suspects. Al-Shabaab has stepped up attacks in Kenya's northeastern and coastal regions in recent months. The Al-Qaeda-linked militant group is facing a large-scale military offensive in Somalia that seeks to drive out the jihadists. After the break, we'll be taking a look at international news.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Bringing you international news this afternoon, a huge explosion at a Gaza hospital killed hundreds of Palestinians, wrecking a diplomatic mission by U.S. President Joe Biden, who arrived in Israel on Wednesday but was snubbed by Arab leaders who called off an emergency summit. Palestinian officials blamed an Israeli airstrike for the huge blast and fireball which engulfed the Al-Ali Al-Arabi hospital. Israel denied responsibility and said the blast was caused by a failed rocket launch by the Palestinian Islamic Jihad militant group, which denied blame. Biden's trip to the Middle East was supposed to calm the region, even as he demonstrated U.S. support for his ally Israel, which has vowed to annihilate the Hamas movement, whose fighters killed 1,300 Israelis in a rampage on October 7th. But after the hospital blast, Jordan cancelled the crucial second half of Biden's itinerary, a planned summit in Amman with the leaders of Jordan, Egypt and the Palestinian Authority to shore up aid to Gaza and avert wider war. After the break, we'll be bringing you local sports news and international sports news. Stay tuned.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Getting into our sports news, USA rugby franchise the Utah Warriors have released their Namibian fly-half fullback Clevin Loopser ahead of the upcoming season of Major League Rugby. However, the Seattle Seawolves recently announced the signing of Namibian wing fullback Devan Russo. Namibian golfer Todd Parker has once again put Namibia on the map in the USA after securing third position in the Cuatro Amigos College Golf Tournament he competed in San Angelo, Texas last week. The Deb Marine Namibia Premier League will continue with Tigers set to face Okahanja United on Friday, with the rest of the fixture to be played on Saturday. After the break, international sports news.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Starting off our international sports news, classy England beat Italy 3-1 at Wembley to become the latest country to book a berth at next year's European Championship after Tuesday's round of qualifiers, but Hungary's hopes were held up by a draw away to Lithuania. South Africa put in a fine performance to hold hosts Ivory Coast to a 1-1 draw in an international friendly played at the Stade Felix Boigny in Abidjan on Tuesday night. England defence coach Kevin Sinfield said on Tuesday they are aware of South Africa's potential tactical surprises before this weekend's Rugby World Cup semi-final in Paris. If you're just joining us, this is NMH at 1 and we'll get into the highlights from today's broadcast right after this.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
You're still watching NMH at 1. For those of you that are just joining us and for those of you that might need a quick recap, here are the news highlights. The Kenyan government has released the names and photos of 35 terror suspects believed to be behind the recent militant attacks in coastal Lamu County. A huge explosion at a Gaza hospital killed hundreds of Palestinians, wrecking a diplomatic mission by US President Joe Biden, who arrived in Israel on Wednesday but was snubbed by Arab leaders who called off an emergency summit. Namibian golfer Todd Parker has once again put Namibia on the map in the USA after securing third position in the Cuatro Amigos College Golf Tournament he competed in San Angelo, Texas last week. Those have been your highlights. Remember to tune in every weekday at 1 p.m. to spend your lunch hour with NMH at 1, catching up on the latest news across Namibia and beyond. From me, Diana Master, I do hope you have yourselves a lovely Wednesday.